in organizations like ISO 9001 2015. That's a quality model which is being implemented by most of the organizations around the globe. And also, we are pretty familiar with most of the quality concepts, the quality um, terms, the quality terminologies, the quality procedures, the quality forms which is being used on a daily operational basis. So here, what exactly is this course? Certified Construction Quality Manager, which is being divided into 8 parts. There are 8 parts in this course. So what we discuss is, so I'll just give a brief introduction of what exactly we are going to discuss in these coming 4 sessions. The part one, so basically the CCQM is delivered from ASQ. ASQ is American Society for Quality, which is a global voice for quality, the global voice for quality. So which is a worldwide recognized organization. So this is ASQ, American Society for Quality, which is giving this construction quality manager, certified construction qualified construction quality manager. So before you write this exam, you have to go through the training sessions, which is mandatory. Then only so this certain organizations like Educoursera have been certified for delivering these courses. With the certificate, you can go and attend the exam. And also, I must say, uh, if you learn this course, it's definitely going to impact your career. If you write the exam, if you don't write the exam, definitely this is going to impact your career, because in construction, mostly we are into projects, and we know the project management. And we can see here, this is project management topics and methodologies are also being discussed here. But a certified construction quality manager is basically into the starting of a project till pre-contract. When it starts from the pre-contract stage till the handover stage. That's what we are going. And what is the exact role of a quality manager? And certain organizations uh, appoint construction quality manager, certified, not certified, the construction quality manager, who will be looking into all these aspects from the pre-contract phase till the handover stage. So what exactly a certified construction quality manager need to look into? That's what we are going to discuss now in the coming 4 days. The part one is pre-contract phase, where we discuss the project delivery, the contract, payment models, project delivery methods, contract types, payment models and methods, payment documentation requirements, etc. And also the contractual requirements, the bid evaluation and finalization. So this is coming in the pre-contract phase. So that's the pre. So can you put in the chat box if you have a problem with the network? Please put in the chat box if you, what exactly you want to tell us. You can use this chat box and you can put your message. So the pre-contract phase is divided into part one, is divided into 3 chapters. A, project delivery, contract and payment models. Contractual requirements, which includes the scope, schedule, resource planning, quality management inputs, procurement contracting methods, delegated designs. Then we go with the bid evaluation and the bid finalization, which is the pre-qualification process, the criteria development, and the bidding process, which is coming in the pre-contract phase. The second one is part two is the planning phase. So once the pre-contract phase is over, we go with the planning phase, strategic quality planning. which includes the project quality strategy development, environmental social governance practices, alignment of the quality plan with other project plans. Then the quality manager, the second chapter of planning phase, we have the quality management systems, where the topics discussed are industry standards, the QMP, quality management planning, quality assurance, and quality control. I think we are mostly familiar with these terms: quality management plan, quality assurance, quality control. And then we go with the part C, chapter C, which is resource planning and analysis, resource assessment, mobilization, roles of the quality personnel and the internal stakeholders, training needs in quality management, third party inspection and outsourcing. Then measurement systems analysis, quality management tools and infrastructure. Then we have the quality audits in chapter D, which is audit types, quality audit plan, audit performance. So exactly you can see like a story, we are going through the different contract phases, from the pre-contracts phase to the planning phase, now uh, going to the design phase. So the project is awarded, now the project is awarded. Now the design phase, which is the third part 3, which is design phase. Basically, when you see the ASQ courses, you can see the whole syllabus is divided into different parts: part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, like that. And each part is divided into chapters. So the chapters are chapter A, chapter B, like that. So in design phase, we will in chapter A, the design inputs, quality objectives, coordination of functional, non-functional requirements, design, lessons learned and best practices, and during the design process. So these are the design inputs required. So we need to ensure, the construction quality manager need to ensure the design inputs are in place. So now we need to assign the role of a construction quality manager and need to look into this syllabus. And in chapter B, which is design process, we need to see the stakeholder involvements, and so that we need to identify the stakeholders, application of the quality management system in design feedback, functionality and constructability reviews. Then in C, which is design inputs, quality objectives review, cross-disciplinary design review, criticality levels inspection. Then we have the quality controls in design. So this is all happening in the design phase: design review, output, design changes, design verification and validation. Then we go with the chapter E, which is measurement and monitoring, design monitoring, peer reviews, and quality documentation. So this is the third phase, which is the design phase. So we have pre-contract phase, we have planning phase, we have third is design phase. I will reshare the slides, so you may be able to see it again and reshare it. Are you able to see the slides again?
Yes, now the screen is visible.
Okay. How about
We can visible. Please join through Chrome.
yeah, please join through Pro. So next is after design phase. So the design is completed. So you are now in the procurement phase. So now the procurement means you start procuring the materials, the resources, the services, etc. for the project, for the execution of the construction project. So in that you can see the quality requirements for procurement, trade partner requirement alignment, resource management, where pre-activity meetings, material control, resource identification, resource mobilization and management. And in C, risk management, we need to do a risk analysis, risk management. We have to identify the risks and analyze the risks, treatment of the risk, monitoring the risk. Quality reporting, D, in procurement, fourth phase, which is review and interpretation of the quality documents, documentation, communication of quality insights, vendor performance evaluation, because we are dealing with the procurement. So there are vendors, subcontractors, suppliers. So once this is done, the procurement is done, design is done, planning is done, designing is done, procurement is done, then we are moving with the construction. The construction started. Quality plan deployment. So we prepared a quality management plan here during the planning phase, where we are executing it here. Quality plan deployment. Deploying the quality plan, construction plans and specifications, required permits, construction submittals, material evaluation, request for information or changes. Changes may happen. The change management, process management, B, risk-based inspection, RBI, and testing strategies, quality management processes, quality control monitoring, tests, destructive, non-destructive, compliance management, laboratory accreditations, compliance monitoring, regulatory body or authority having jurisdiction, quality monitoring and reporting, which includes acceptance criteria, definition and implementation, reporting and analysis, meetings participation, lessons and improvements, levels of commissioning. So this is the fifth part, which is the main part, which is the core area where the construction, where the high pressure, the high quantum of work, where the project gets at the peak. Then we have the sixth phase where the project turnover and close out, where we have to see the documentation management, sustaining quality requirements, documentation management. Impact assessment and compliance, required documentation, non-conformance is there or not, or how many of non-conformances, how about the reporting of the non-conformances, how about the close out of the non-conformances, quality deliverables verification, final certification, final turnover and close out of the documentation. And warranties. So the project is completed, that's being handed over to the client. Then here we have in the part 7, operations and maintenance, where the project could be a building, civil construction, could be a ship building, which is a ship or something like that. So could be a pressure vessel, could be whatever it is, mechanical or civil or whatever could be the construction. So that product or that particular project is completed, it's been handed over to the consumer or customer or the final user, owner. So he's using it, so the operations and maintenance started using the building. Inhabitants are being occupied in the building, so it started the operations and maintenance. So there we have to see because if it's multi-billion dollar projects, definitely there is a part operations and maintenance where we have to keep a warranty period covered, so that there is some liabilities the contractor is having with the customer. So sustaining the quality requirements, preparing quality objectives required for operations maintenance based on customer expectations, discuss continuity, provide inputs for facility shutdown plans, considering both planned and unplanned events. If it's a plan, take the case of a plan, you have to give the shutdown plans. Let's take, we buy a car. That car is also, you're given a manual, operations maintenance manual, where the maintenance part is there, how you need to operate, the operators tutorial is there. Then the maintenance schedule is given. So you have to, once you complete the within the 1,000 kilometers, you have to go with the first service. So that kind of requirements, what all services you need to do, what all maintenance is you need to do. So that is a maintenance plans. If it is a case of a bigger refineries, bigger civil construction projects, that will be having its own shutdown plans, planned shutdowns and unplanned shutdowns. And the last one is part 8 is what is exactly required by this, what are the skills exactly required by the quality manager. In that we will discuss the ASQ Code of Ethics, which is chapter A, stakeholder analysis and alignment, team building, vision development, stages of team development, effective team dynamics and communication. Then the final one is change. D is change management. In change management, you have organizational culture, change management strategies. Then E, cost of quality analysis, improvement plans, and organization goals. Customer satisfaction, which includes the customer feedback systems, customer value analysis, customer experience enhancement. Then quality management tools, which includes the important quality tools, learning and best practices analysis, knowledge management analysis. This is what exactly we are going to discuss in the coming 4 days. The pre-contract phase, don't worry about the chapters. First of all, fix in your mind 8 parts: pre-contract phase, planning phase, design, procurement, then we have the construction, then project turnover and closeout, operations and maintenance, QM skills, quality manager skills. So in pre-contract phase, project delivery, contract and payment models. So this is also a pre-bid phase. We are going with the bidding, and planning is very much required for this. Else, it will be affected during the constructions time. So in pre-contract phase, actually what we discussed was, what we have seen in the syllabus, it is A, 3 chapters. We have 3 chapters here. Chapter A is project delivery, contract and payment models. Then we have the contractual requirements to be understood. And finally, the bid evaluation and finalization. That's what we discussed here. Project delivery, contract and payment models, contractual requirements, bid evaluation and finalization. The first one is the project delivery methods. So how we are going to deliver this project if it is being awarded. So that's planned in the pre-contract phase. So what is PDM, pre-delivery method? That's a system. The system, it's a comprehensive system to organize, to contract, and to execute the project in the context of construction infrastructure. So what is it dealing with? The relationships, roles, responsibilities, sequence of activities. So there are 3 parties here: the project owner, who is giving the project, who is awarding the project; the designer, who is the architect and or engineer; and the builder, who is the contractor. So this is what exactly you can see in huge million dollar projects. So there is project owner, designer, who is an architect or engineer, and finally the builder or contractor. So this is a contractual approach. PDM is a contractual approach to design and build the project. So that's a PDM method. How you are going to design, how you are going to build the project. So you are going to select different methods: design, build, bid and build. DBB model is there. This is a traditional method. Then design, build. Then construction manager at risk, CMAR. These are the three models, PDM, project delivery methods. So which one you are going to select? Your choice depends on the risk allocation. Who is responsible for the cost overruns or delays? So there is a person, there is a final contact point, the top person, the top responsibility, a person who is responsible for the cost overruns and delays. That's a part of risk allocation. Then the timeline. How quickly you can complete the project. The control, the project owner is having on the design and construction of the project. The control the project owner is having. The amount of control, we can say like that. Collaboration. How closely we are working together to complete the project. So you select a PDM based on these choices, based on these factors: the risk allocation factor, timeline factor, control. The project control factor, collaboration factor. So this is a contractual approach. So there's a project owner, designer, builder. Is it clear?
Yeah.
So these are the three common PDM. An example is given: a new public school, building a new public school. Delivery method is given on the left, first column. Second is how is it working, what is the relationship and risk, and example. This is DBB model, design, bid, build. So this is a traditional method, three sequential phases. You are designing, so that you are assigning an architect or a designer or an engineer, then bidding and construction. So owner is hiring the designer, complete the design, then based on this design, you invite the bids. You invite bids from the contractors and award the project to the bid which is having lowest price, and also quality also we consider in certain sectors. And not only price, because if you see aerospace projects, you not only, suppose you have 5 bidders, 4 of them did the bidding at very cheap level, but one did the bidding at a high price, but they will consider the quality requirements also, because that is an aerospace project. So the other 4 may not be knowing the project, may not be knowing the requirements, may not be understanding the importance of the project. So that also need to be considered. So hire the lowest responsive bidder for construction. This is a very traditional method. That's what I want to highlight, the drawback also. So here you can see owner contracts with the designer, also contracts with the contractor. Hire a designer, having a contract with the designer, also having, based on this design, once the design is completed, you are contacting a contractor to execute the design. in the design build project, he is selecting a single entity, design builder. And this single entity, this single company is responsible for both design and construction. He will design, get the approval, he start the construction. So he is having a design team and also he is having a construction team. One design build firm. Could be a partnership of a designer and contractor. It could be two firms, but they have a collaborative partnership. So here there is a risk also. This also you need to see in the DBB model, where owner assumes the risk if the design is incomplete or has errors. So the owner assumes a risk that the design is incomplete or the design is having errors because it is done by a different entity. Design is done, completed by a different entity, and he's taking that design and giving to the contractor. But in this case, it's not like that. The same entity is doing it, or the same entity with the design and construction collaboration. They are doing the same entity. They are doing designing and building. Because the design builder takes on the majority of the risk for the coordination, for the cost certainty. It rests with the DB. The third one is construction manager at risk. Here, the owner hires a construction manager, could be a certified construction quality manager. In the early design phase, he will act as a consultant. This construction manager or the certified construction quality manager, he will act as a consultant, providing all the input on cost, schedule, and constructability. He later becomes the general contractor, committing to the guaranteed maximum price for construction. The price factor also being finalized and decided by the construction manager. So he starts from the pre-contract phase. So when the project is starting, he is assigning a construction quality manager or a construction manager. So here the owner contracts with the designer and separately with the construction manager. He will act as the consultant in the starting phase. Then he acts as a builder. See the example. The school hires an architect and a construction manager simultaneously. Construction manager helps the architect design the school in a cost-effective way because he's an expert in construction, in designing. Once the design is developed, the CM presents a final price. That is guaranteed maximum price. That's a guaranteed price, taking responsibility for the cost. That's the reason why it is given the word guaranteed. So the risk is shared risk. CM helps control cost and schedule, but guarantees a price ceiling. He is guaranteeing a price. If I am running a business, if I'm executing a project for the last 20-25 years, I'm very clear with the cost requirements. So a construction manager can help in that. So he is aware of what all things will be there. Even a small piece of nut and bolt, also gaskets, whatever it is, he is very familiar with that. Nothing is going to miss from his side. So he is very clear with the guaranteed maximum price. So this is So are you clear with this project delivery contract and the project delivery methods? Are you clear with this PDM? 3 methods we discussed. So this is project delivery method. Now the contracts. type of contracts. Now we are going to discuss the type of contracts. Project contracts, backbone of project execution. Contract is an agreement. Contract is an agreement. Legally binding. Defining the scope. Legal binding. Cost, schedule. Scope, cost, and schedule. And also, I would like to add the quality requirements. And also, in the contract, you can see the payment structure, their source. The payment structure, cost structure or the payment structure is clearly defined in the project contract. So there are different types of contracts. Based on the mode of formation, you have express contract, implied contract, quasi contract, e-contract. So you can just see this. Based on performance, executed contract, executory contract, partly executed and partly executory, unilateral contract, bilateral contract. Based on validity or enforceability, you have valid contract, void contract, voidable contract, illegal agreement, unenforceable contract, and certain contract in writing. So we will discuss the contracts. Express contract. Express contract is kind of a contract, lease agreement. I'm signing a lease agreement because we are all you're all in GCC. You may be having a lease agreement with your building owner. That's a kind of express contract. That's an express contract, a lease agreement, and which is listing your rent amount and the period of lease and from which date it is starting, and you and the building owner will sign and agree to the terms. That's kind of express contract. So it could be in return or spoken. It could be written or spoken. So a contract is always a legally binding agreement. I'm sorry, actually this is purely related to uh, legal side. I don't know, I think maybe familiar or you may not be familiar with this, but we are all doing this, we are all executing this kind of contract somewhere in our personal life, because I told express contract, that's lease agreement. Lease agreement is a kind of express contract which you are all, we are all uh, used to those kind of contracts. So what is exactly a contract? The word contract, the definition of contract, it's a legally binding agreement between two or more parties, and that outlines the terms, conditions, the relationship. It includes the obligations, responsibilities, and also the expectations of each party. It is very important in projects, construction projects. So what are the key elements of a contract? One, offer. If you see a contract, there is an offer. You're giving an offer. One party is making an offer with the other. Yeah, I'm going to lease this flat for a tenure 1 year at so and so rate. So that's an offer. The other party, myself, talking to you, you are giving me this lease. I'm saying I'm accepting your offer, so I'm signing it. So there is a, so in a contract, you can see there is an offer, there is an acceptance. So what if you are telling me, out of the participant, let's say to Mr. Anish, I'm saying, Anish, I'm going to give you a car on 2026 January. I'm just verbally saying, I'm saying, and Mr. Subhash is witness. We three were talking, and I was giving this offer to Anish. Anish agreed. Okay, thanks, Prem. And Subhash was witnessing this, but there is no writing such that something like that. So there is no writing, just a verbal word. And January completed, and the car is not given. So February, Anish asked me, "You told me you will give a car. Are you going to give me?" I never answered. And Anish, in the month of March, Anish filed a suit or a case, violation of contract. Nothing is written, just a spoken word. Why I highlighted this point? That will be taken by the court. So legally, if you offer something to a person, verbal or non-verbal, writing or spoken, that's a contract. You given an offer and the other party accepted the offer verbally, that's fine. And you violated it, means either parties can go for a fine, for a case, and that will be considered by the court. That's why I just would like to highlight that one party makes an offer, the other party accepts the offer. So there is an offer, there is an acceptance in a contract. So if you see the word contract, there is an offer, there is an acceptance. Apart from this, you can also see there is a consideration, there is considerations in contract. Both parties exchange something of value. You do this, you execute 25% of the project. We will make you a payment of 20. We will make a milestone payment of $1 million, 1 million riyals. And once you complete the 50%, the second milestone payment will be done. So there are considerations, and there is some mutual. You can see mutuality. the same example which I quoted, I'm taking it again. I'm giving Mr. Anish an offer. Mr. Anish, I'm going to give a car free, free of cost. I'm going to give you free of cost by January. I think I forgot to use that word. I'm giving you a car free, or you don't need to pay. I'll give you as a gift. I'm going to gift you. I'm gifting you a car. Going to gift you a car by January 2026. And Mr. Anish told, Prem, I don't need. I have a car with me. Sorry. So you rejected my offer. So there is no acceptance. I've given you the offer. You rejected it. So there is no acceptance. So if you accepted it, and I'm not going to give you, and Subhash is a witness, Mr. Subhash is a witness, you filed a case that will be taken by the court. So that is the case with the contracts. So it's a legally binding agreement between two parties or more than two parties, which is outlining the terms, conditions, relationships, and also having including the obligations, the responsibilities will be there, and expectations of each party. And please keep this in mind. Contracts can be written, contracts can be oral or implied. So again, contracts can be written contracts, oral contracts, or implied. So what is an implied contract? They are also suppose you have a car, you have taken, there is some um, uh, problems with your car, and you have taken the car to a mechanic, and you explain the mechanic the problems and told him to fix it. There is no paperwork, but the mechanic works on your car, and he's completing the uh, works, and he's sending you a bill. Here we can say this is an implied contract. So express contract I already explained. This is implied contract. Taking your car to a mechanic, tell him to fix it. There is no paperwork. Normally that is what happening in India. I think we are all Indians here. So, but in UAE or in GCC countries, there is the police voucher or some kind of requirements. Paperwork is required. If there is some accidents happen, some scratches, damages, you need the police paper. But here in India, the rule is there. But normally, if you take the automobile to the mechanic and tell him the problem, he will fix it and he will give you the bill. That's an implied contract. So you have implied that you will pay for the services, and the mechanic, by working on your car, implied that they will be paid for their work. So this is all implied. So that is an implied contract. Are you clear with this? So implied contract, it's not written. or could not be spoken. One more example I can give you, implied contract. Express contract, I given the example lease agreement, or signing a lease agreement. Implied contract, I already given the example of mechanic also. You're going to a hospital, you have some problem, you sit in front of the doctor, doctor's cabin, you went inside and sit in front of the doctor's cabin, you start his diagnosis, you start your diagnosis. Because you're sitting in, see, you will go to a doctor if you have a problem. If you have some health issues, then only you will go and see the doctor. The doctor will start the consultation. That is without a signed agreement. No signed agreement. That's the implied contract. Because both the parties will understand the circumstances. Now, quasi contract. So, quasi contract is not a true contract. Suppose you paid by mistake a neighbor's water bill. You paid by mistake your neighbor's water bill, let's say. The neighbor never asked for the payment. But you may need a quasi contract. You need a quasi contract because you need a legal remedy. That legal remedy, because by mistake or when you were doing the Google Pay, you paid to a wrong person, wrong number. The last number was 5, you put it 3. The Google Pay went. It was a 5,000 or 10,000, let's say it's a 50,000 rupees. You contacted that person, it's not reverting. So you have to go with the quasi contract. You need to file a case. It will go with the legal remedy. You will get a legal remedy because it was not a true contract. By mistake you made it, but the other person is not ready to revert the money. So that is a quasi contract. There you need the quasi contract. E-contracts are always electronic contracts. In e-contracts, you have offer, you have acceptance, but in digital means. You will be in e-contracts, you will be having an offer, and also there is an acceptance, but that is all through digital means, through maybe websites. The Amazon, take the case of Amazon. Amazon is giving you an offer, you're accepting the offer, you're clicking it, you're paying the money. That's all done through the digital means. That's a e-contract. And you ordered the thing, ordered the product, not arrived at your place, violation of contract, violation of e-contract. So to be precise, express contract explicitly written, explicit. Implied means inferred from behavior, mechanic, car owner, doctor, patient, implied. Quasi contract, there is an injustice happened because of some errors from your side and you are not getting the justice. The court will create a quasi contract to get you the money once the court is convinced. Electronic contract as a normal contract, it's a normal contract, but all done through digital means. Offer, acceptance, all done through digital means. Are you all clear with this? Any doubts?
Clear?
Okay. So this is actually a legal thing, these types of contract. So first of all, you need to understand what is a contract. The contract is always having an offer and an acceptance. Could be written or could be spoken. So you need to understand it. If you are offering something to a person, and that's the reason why in divorce cases, wife-husband related cases, this contracts, the offer and acceptance is very important because that will be scrutinized very clear, very deeply. Because in normal married life, that offer acceptance is verbal, offer and acceptance will be there. So in certain cases, it will go with the side of husband. Certain cases, it will go with the. So when you make an offer with someone, you need to be very clear. The other person is going with the. Normally they will not go, but if he is going with the, if I'm saying I'll give you a car free of cost. While it is going, then I may have to even I may have to pay a fine. So okay, when you run the case and finally the court, okay, he cannot. It was just a, but I'll be fined. I'll get a fine to make such false offers. I'll get a fine. I may get a fine. So that's it with the types of contracts, types of contract based on mode of formation. Now, we are going to discuss the types of contracts based on performance. So based on performance, we have executed contract. Then we have executory contract. Partly executed and partly executory contracts. Bilateral contract. So executed contract is you given the car to the mechanic repaired it, given you the bill. Both parties performed their roles, everything what they promised. You given your car, he accepted your car, repaired it, and given you the bill. So executed contract. Contract is executed. Executory contract is something is pending. Executory contract is something is pending. The obligations are still pending. Executory contract, I will take the same case of lease agreement with the land, the building owner. You're signing a lease agreement with the flat owner, and you're saying that every month, before 5th of every month, you will pay the rents without fail. So you're paying it, and already come. So it's a yearly contract, 12 months contract. Yearly agreement, the lease agreement for 12 months, 1 year. So now you completed 3 months. Can you say it is an executed contract? 3 months only completed, 1 year duration. You're paying it clearly, there is no problem. Your payment is correctly going to the building flat owner's account. But can you say it is an executed contract?
No.
So that is an executory contract because some obligation is pending. You have to pay the balance 9-month rent, which is going to come. It's not your problem. It's not your building owner's problem. So that is kind of executory contract. Now, partly executed or partly executory contract. Some parts already done, some parts outstanding. The executory it's not because of the problem from either parties. Something is pending, some obligations are pending, but it's not because of the problem from both the parties. In executory contract, in partly executed and executory contract, some parts are already done, but something is again still outstanding. So you ordered a furniture, a bed, a bookshelf, something, some furniture items with a furniture shop or with a carpenter. Let's say with a carpenter. So you paid a deposit also. You paid a deposit, some advance money. You paid a deposit to the carpenter. So he had to start the work, complete the woodwork, and deliver it to your home. And he will deliver it next week. So today you paid it, you deposited the advance. He's going to give you the uh, product next week, the furniture next week. So you completed the payment, that's executed. Your part you completed, executed. The carpenter is going to deliver you the completed product next week, which is executory. So that is partly executed and partly executed. So it is partly executed. He paid the money, he started the work. Now he has to give it next week. So that means that is executory. Unilateral contract. Only one side makes a promise. You might have seen wanted criminals wanted. If you if you find and uh, inform inform the location of if the person is available somewhere, you are informing this person, this criminal is available here to the police. For that information, you will get a reward of 1 lakh rupees or 1 lakh dirhams. So you have seen posters on posted in different parts of your state. You're not going to see. Nobody is going to search and find out the criminal on a daily basis. Suppose if you are seeing that criminal somewhere, you inform the police. You are getting the reward. So that is unilateral contract. So you, based on the poster fixed, you identified this somewhere. You have seen this criminal. You inform the police, so you are getting the reward. So that is unilateral contract. So unilateral contract is one side promise, but by